In the city of Philadelphia, thousands of low-income residents are living without gas and electricity. For community legal services, access to affordable utilities is just as important as employment, housing, and public benefits. CLS of Philadelphia is one of the few legal aid organizations in the country that has a unit devoted exclusively to the practice of utility law.
I'm Robert Ballinger. I'm a senior supervising attorney at Community Legal Services, and I'm the co-director of the Energy Unit, which is our practice that focuses on access to affordable and life-essential utility service for low-income Philadelphians.
My name is Josie Pickens. I'm a supervising attorney at Community Legal Services of Philadelphia and the co-director of our Energy Unit.
The Energy Unit of CLS represents low-income consumers in disputes to maintain and restore their utility service. It advocates on behalf of low-income consumers to improve the policies of local providers, and it represents individual and group clients before the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission.
We realize that we could be at the forefront of resolving a situation that could potentially be disastrous for our clients.
Most people take it for granted that when they flip the switch, the lights will come on. That when they adjust the thermostat, their homes will become warmer or cooler. The clients of the Energy Unit, on the other hand, struggle to have and to keep the very basic necessities of gas and electricity.
When they come to your house and you're not home, they have to dig a hole to shut off the valve for the gas. They dug a hole, but I was here. I invited the guy to come in. He went downstairs. He saw the meter. And even the neighbor that used to live over here saw him coming in and out of my property. And they still went and dig a hole, and they wanted to charge me for that. I spent about a week without no gas, a hole in my ground. I went downtown on Chestnut Street to the legal aid, and they opened a case, and I'm so grateful for that lady that helped me. And the legal aid is a very important tool for a lot of people that cannot afford a lawyer outside.
There is a misconception that people choose not to pay their utility bills because they are prioritizing less important things. That is not the reality. The average Energy Unit client just does not have the income to make ends meet. They have other expenses, like rent and childcare, that are competing for scarce resources. So they must make a choice. Do I pay my utility bill, or do I pay for food and health care?
In the year 2012, I had a heart attack. Year 2013, I had breast cancer and surgery, and I had complications from the surgery, which I was out of work for 2 months. So a lot of medical issues where I was out of work. In the end, the bottom line is money, and it's not like a couple of hundred, it's in the thousands. And actually, to have my last time to have it turned on, it was $1,000. And in order for me to make an arrangement, they wanted me to pay $900 a month.
In order for a family of 4 to be able to pay their rent, a standard rent, and work at a minimum wage job, that they would have to work 3 full-time jobs in order to pay that rent. Who's going to work 3 full-time jobs? So that's what we're dealing with. We are dealing with a good portion of our clientele being the working poor.
Some of the people around here, they already retired, and they living out of Social Security paycheck. And it's hard for them to keep up, paying their utility. They old in the neighborhood, and they kind of a little embarrassed to go up there and look for services and help. With a little check that you receive, you gotta pay the mortgage, you gotta pay the water, you gotta pay the electrical, you gotta pay the gas. They don't look at all of those or your little check that you get.
Everyone goes through something. Here it is, I'm a single parent, I've been divorced, my husband hasn't really helped me, and I've been pretty much fitting the bill for the house, the bills, the children.
There's really no such thing as affordability with my electric. I would never be able to afford it unless PECO makes changes. It's just impossible. And I really believe that I'm gonna end up having to sell my property just to keep up with the electric. The electric gives me nightmares.
When low-income consumers are unable to pay their bills and turn to the energy unit, they will be told about programs utility companies are required by law to provide. CLS maintains that these measures do not go far enough in assuring utility accessibility and affordability for low-income consumers.
My name is Sonny Popowski. My job for many years was to serve as the consumer advocate of Pennsylvania. Universal service has long been a policy goal in Pennsylvania. It became a part of the actual statutory framework here in Pennsylvania in the 1990s. The first element of universal service is physical access to the wires and pipes that connect you to the system. The second element of universal service is affordability. You don't just want that pipe and that wire running into your home. You want to be able to afford the service that comes through those pipes and wires.
So we have a customer assistance program that a lot of customers aren't aware of. We call it CAP for short, and it really is an affordable payment plan. So you pay for your gas bill based on your income.
It's a no money down payment arrangement. So if they're having a hard time and they're not able to afford a payment up front, then CRP would be a great way to help them get current.
All of our major electric and gas utilities have a program called CAP, Customer Assistance Program. These programs are often referred to as a percentage of income program, where instead of paying a full utility bill, you pay a bill which is capped at a percentage of your income.
In Pennsylvania, the standard for affordable gas and electric service is established by the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission. And that standard, what we refer to as the energy burden for low-income customers, is as high as 17% of monthly income for families who are at 150% or below the federal poverty level. Compare that to an average customer's bill. An average customer in Pennsylvania can expect to pay somewhere between the range of 1% and 5% of monthly household income for their electric and home heat bills. So we're asking low-income customers to pay as a percentage of income up to 4 or 5 times as much as we expect non-low-income customers to pay.
Low-income Philadelphians are more likely to reside in older, less energy-efficient housing where utility affordability assistance is vital to maintaining service. Yet, with the PUC's current energy burdens, many low-income families do not qualify to receive any discounts on their bills, while those who do qualify can be required to pay as much as 1/6 of their gross household income for gas and electricity. For example, a Philadelphia family of 4 earning $2,500 per month, or the equivalent of 2 full-time minimum wage salaries, would be expected to make monthly payments of as much as $250 for gas and $170 for electricity. A single parent living in Philadelphia with 1 child and earning $1,500 per month would be expected to make monthly payments of as much as $150 for gas and $105 for electricity.
Now, 17% is a lot of money, if you think about it, because again, those customers, in addition to having to pay all their utility bills, have to pay for everything else, food, clothing, shelter. In an ideal world, we'd like to keep that burden as low as possible. On the other hand, we want to get as many people as we can into the program, people who need the help. So there's a trade-off between the amount of assistance that can be provided to individual customers versus the number of customers who participate. The cost of these programs is borne by other customers, in particular other residential customers for the most part in Philadelphia. So you want to make sure that we're not putting too much of a burden on the customers who are not participating in the customer assistance programs.
Typically, consumers who are experiencing trouble paying their gas or electric bills for the first time are able to negotiate a payment arrangement on their own. The real difficulty comes when they cannot meet their obligations under the arrangement because the terms are unrealistic or they have encountered a new crisis in their lives.
In 2004, the General Assembly passed a law that became Chapter 14 of the Public Utility Code. And effectively, it stripped away a whole body of consumer rights that low-income families relied upon to keep the service on.
Chapter 14 specifically makes it difficult for customers to get additional assistance from the Public Utility Commission. It eliminates the ability of the Commission to authorize a payment arrangement for customers who have received assistance under a utilities customer assistance program.
One of the things that I see from a legislative perspective to fix Chapter 14, it can't be cookie cutter, because the situations and the circumstances that we see, at least here, that come through our door, it's not a cookie cutter situation.
In my opinion, and I think this is, a lot of people feel that if you have, let's say, a customer assistance program where you can charge an affordable rate to a low-income customer, then the utility is better off recovering that affordable rate from that customer than they would be if they just terminated the customer and shut them off.
When people are cut off and lose their gas or electric service, they may live in their homes without it. They may use unsafe energy sources, like kerosene heaters for warmth or electric hot plates for cooking. Thus, there are health and safety consequences associated with the loss of service. Parents may also risk losing custody of their children. Failure to have service in the home may constitute neglect. And finally, people may end up filing for bankruptcy because they have no other option.
I use space heaters in the bedrooms for me and the children. We pretty much stayed in our rooms when we were in here. Far as taking, showers and stuff, we heated water in the microwave to take, to be able to wash off. I have a shower at my job. I would take a shower there, and take the clothes to the laundromat.
Utilities subject to PUC regulation are prohibited from shutting off service for non-payment from December 1st through March 31st. This is known as the winter moratorium. There is, however, no summer moratorium.
They don't care if the temperature is 200 degrees. They will come and shut it off. And let me tell you, people die from that. For heat absorption in the house, especially this wall, the bricks, they concentrate all the heat at night. And what it does is it goes inside of the property. I had to have my window basically closed at all time for the pollen and other dirt inside, because my son got diagnosed with what they call environmental asthma. And what I've been saying is that pollen, grass, danger, and all of that is hazardous for him. So it was really tough.
Owning a property is just a dream come true. It's like, okay, I did something substantial in my life. Me giving this building up would be like me cutting off my left arm and I'm left-handed. I don't want to, but with Pico's situation, I may end up having no choice just to pay Pico. I've been talking to my attorney about going into bankruptcy to pay Pico. Talk about scary. Whoever thought that a household bill could have you thinking bankruptcy or have you thinking sell your home?
There is a great cost to not addressing this area of need. The cost of providing shelters, the cost of dealing with homelessness, the cost of children removed from their homes is a great social cost that we pay in not addressing the need for affordable utility service in Pennsylvania. There are many individuals who are living in their homes without access to electricity and heat. And I don't believe that that's something that any individual is proud of, that any lawmaker is proud of, but it's something that we collectively have allowed to happen. And it is urgent that we take action.
Community Legal Services has proposed that the PUC adopt the following 4-point affordability reform agenda. Improve universal service programs to expand eligibility and promote consistency. Reduce the combined burden of gas and electric service for low-income participants in customer assistance programs from 17% to 6%. Implement statewide administration of all universal service programs. Require commercial and industrial consumers to contribute to the cost of universal service programs in Pennsylvania.